Alright, so we're back for part 3 for the bathroom remodel, starting to fix stuff this morning. So I went out to the garage. There was a lot of wood left in the garage that I saved when we moved in, and I got lucky, and there's this nice 5/8 maple plywood out here. Looks like 2x8 sheets, quite a few, and that should be plenty. I already pulled one out. It's nice and straight and solid. I did find a 2x6, but it's not enough, so I ran to the Home Depot this morning, picked up two 2x6s. The regular ones were all like warped, so I grabbed pressure treated. They're like $7 a piece, but I got two 8-foot 2x6s. And this morning, first thing is, I think I'm gonna do it in sections, so I'm not gonna rip the whole floor up. The side by the toilet, that's really bad. I'm gonna shore up the joists. Probably put a new piece of wood down on that side, then I'll like mess with the other side so I have room to work without having to stand through the floor in the crawl space. But let's go get started. So there's actually 5/8 plywood with 1/4-inch plywood on top stapled on it, and then linoleum, and then mortar and fiberboard and tile. But anyway, I think I'm just going to go install this first sister joist here on the beams and get it screwed in. Some 3-inch construction screws. So I'll get that sister joist. Really, the damage stops about there, and then the outside of that joist is also solid, but I'm just going to sister it all the way across the beams here, back to under the floor where I stopped cutting. So we'll get that one installed first. Please stay. Yeah, so sometimes you gotta get creative. So to get this beam level and up, or the joist on the next beam over here, I had to get my car jack in the space, crawl space with a block of wood to bump it up so I can get this level. Fun. If you don't show me the way, please stay. Alright, both sistered joists are in. This is all rock solid. So the top of the plywood has some damage, but the beam, the joist underneath, this whole thing looks really good. So I'm gonna leave that one. And then that plywood there is good. So I'm gonna get some blocking, do a 2x6 runner here and here for the new plywood to sit on. And then, since I can't like drill a hole to mount the flange onto the plywood, I'm gonna have to do 2 sheets butted up here. So I'm also do some blocking under here for support, to support the 2 ends of the plywood.
To make you stop, I see you leave. I know I'll fall. Will you retrieve my wounded soul?
Alright, so the blocking down here is in. I still got to finish the blocking around the drain, but since this insulation was damaged, I'm going to tuck it up behind the blocking, and then I'll have a new spot to put my new insulation in. And because it's a little snug, yep, should stay up in there pretty well. Alright, the insulation's in there. So now just got to finish the blocking around the toilet drain, and we'll be ready to assess for new plywood.
Please stay.
So that was a little tricky to block around that, and again, that's way more than I need, and I still have room to adjust it and measure the rough end from the wall for 12 inches, so I'm good there. Again, I don't know where, I just want to get the blocking done. I don't know where I'm going to break the seam of the plywood around this yet, so I just want an extra blocking for lots of support if I have a seam, you know, between the joists. So kind of overkill. Yeah, it should hold though. It's crazy to see how much the top of this beam rotted away from the sagging. because this is all level to everything else. Kind of hard to get my level in there, and I couldn't just take the top of the flange because this was all sinking in and the flange itself is plastic and warped, so I couldn't put my level on the flange, so I had to get it in where it could. But blocking's done. Like I said, this joist framing is all good. As you can see, I think some of the moisture got into this top plywood. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is switch gears from this side. We'll call that half of the room done. So I dodge this beam here. Pull up some more of this, and then work on relocating our vent. So talked to the wife a little bit. So air vent I have enough hose to reroute it under there. I've already verified that. It used to be here, well, like right where your foot was on it when you're using the toilet or sitting on it. So an option, I was going to move it here to like the corner, or like there's a line where like the door would be over to here to this wall. So I'm not sure which one I'll do. Once I pull this plywood up, I'll look underneath. So a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. As I started to cut out this part, I realized all of this is in really good shape. I think the damage is just limited to here. But, so I was like, alright, I'll put the air vent here. Oh, there's a joist here, and another joist. So I can't put it here because it'd be in the way of the joist. But it looks like there's enough room to put it in this way between these two joists. So also I found a ledge to do my new plywood at, and I'm looking at the plywood over here, and it's all in really good shape. Even the edges of all this, it's really hard to see in here. This all looks good. So yeah, I think my damage is just in this area. So I think what I'll do is just cut out a section a little bit at a time in this area and see what we got as far as replacing, and if all that looks good, I'll leave it. If not, I'll go further. So this is going to wrap up part 3 of the video. So I hit a few snags. This is a 90-degree box, register box for the air duct, and to fit between those two joists I need a straight one. None of them were in stock anywhere, so I had to order one. So a little bit of delay, but I got all the wood cut, and I just have 2 down for now, and the AC is still blowing in here. So I'll have to postpone until I get that. Once I get the duct changed out, and it was a 5-inch duct box. They had 4-inch and 6-inch in stock, but no 5-inch. So once I get that, I can finish rounding that, insulating around there. Then I can do all the final insulation under here and glue and screw these new subfloor plywood pieces down. So yeah, that's going to wrap up part 3. Yeah, little snag, but I think what I'll do is, while I'm waiting for that part to come in, just leave some of this floor here temporary and start working on patching some holes in the wall. And there's lots of crap that needs filled and sanded and fixed. So prepping the walls for paint. So we'll be finishing up the floor, and I'll probably show you some of the wall work I'm doing in the next video. So be sure to stay tuned, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching so far. All right, bye.